Jay Grossman told me this morning we got the third youngest team in the Big Ten. Right now, it was a little bit younger tonight, but they definitely grew up. And wasn't easy, but they earned the victory. And it would have been a shame if we hadn't gotten this win, because they earned it. We have Penn State's very good, no doubt about that, and there's a great atmosphere in there. But our guys earned it, and we have to get a lot better in certain situations. Our best inbounders, one was in a boot, one was in the locker room, and the other two needed to catch the ball. And but we found a way, and we've got to do an even better job, obviously, in press offense. And we will, we can, we have. But they earned the victory, and I'm proud of them, and proud of the way everybody came in and played. We dealt with a lot of adversity tonight, obviously, and when you have a player like OG who means so much not only to the basketball team but far more to the basketball family, that's hard. That's hard on everybody. So I have no update on him other than he certainly couldn't have returned to the game, and we'll take the next step when we get home on him. And I have no other updates on any other injuries that I can give you right now. But proud of the victory. James executed at the end of the game. Thomas set a great screen. We made a decision not to set the screen to get him open. He bounced back, made the catch, and he just did it flawless. All right, he got the ball out in front. He timed up his dribbles. His footwork was excellent. His follow-through was there. A lot of times what happens in those situations when you're taking a shot at the end of the clock or the end of the game, it's very easy to not take a fundamental shot. It's very easy to kick your leg or not follow through or rush the ball, and he didn't do any of that. And he was rewarded with a bucket. So, again, proud of the way they've been growing up, proud of the way they earned it tonight against a very good team. And we've got a short turnaround before we get ready to play an outstanding team at home on Saturday with Michigan State. Go ahead.
I know you said you didn't have updates on OG,
I don't.
but no, I guess, did he kind of have any idea of, what might have happened? Did he just kind of plant and
It looks like that, yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen it on film yet, but it looks like that.
Did he communicate anything?
Yeah, we talked through as much as he knew, but our biggest concern right now is just making sure that doctor, trainer, and do everything that we can do at this point, and then get him home and figure it out.
I saw on radio.
Whoa, it's gonna fall. Right there. There we go. I'm sorry.
I saw your comment on the radio. You said that the final shot was kind of set up like the Watford shot a few years
Yeah,
ago.
it really was. We just ran on the different side of the floor, but it's the same play call. But we got open differently. Usually we run off a screen, and but in this case we knew they'd switch it. So James did a great job of setting it up and setting up a bounce cut, and Thomas came under, got the screen. But James, the whole key to things like that, you've got a dribble per second, right? And that play can be run anywhere from 4 and above. 4.6. Was it 4.6?
4-6.
Yeah, that's right about the cusp of it. But he did a great job getting the ball out. And if you waste a dribble, and they didn't turn us, okay, so we're able to get out and go off that screen. That's why the screen could have, if we would have screened to get him free, that could have been a problem, the way that they were switching. But we made a decision. We made a decision to have him bounce, and he got the ball out, and he covered ground. I'm proud of him because there's times he doesn't cover ground, but he did a great job on that. And again, the presence of mind to go up and shoot the ball like a regular jump shot instead of a last-second buzzer beater is the reason that balls like that go in my opinion.
You talked about.
Go ahead. I can barely hear him, but I can hear him sitting this close.
You've talked about wanting to see fight from your guys. You lose a guy like OG, you lose a 14-point lead, they tie it, you get a big shot.
We're playing one of our most dependable guys,
right, is that,
Juwan Morgan.
Right.
Yeah.
John Juwan too, but is what we saw tonight, is that scene fight, mental fight?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, they're getting better, yeah. I mean, they're definitely getting better. And again, it's a product of the games, but it's also a product of the way they work in the practices, and it's isolating skills. It's the small groups. It's just when you're young and you're playing a lot, it's really, really easy to lose the value of how important the fundamentals and the details are. Now we've got to get a little bit more fundamental and detailed in our press break, and we work on it quite frequently, but we didn't work on it all the time with some of the guys who were in it. okay, I gotta do a better job there. Because you've always gotta have a plan. You know, the victory lies in the organization of the non-obvious. We had some of those situations tonight, so, but they persevered, right? And this was a player-driven win as much as anything. And they responded. In this environment against a good team, we said this at halftime, their poise, miss or make, was really, really good. And there's been times when we get our head down, when we don't make shots, or our transition wasn't as good as it needed to be defensively. But we had good poise, you know, and that's a sign of a growing team. I'm not ready to put the stamp on it and say, here they are. I mean, I'm not trying to say that, but they are growing. And that's a real good step in the right direction for a very young team.
After the OG injury,
I'm sorry.
over
Yes,
here.
sir. Go ahead.
After the OG injury, Penn State players walked by him to go into the locker room. You looked like you had words for Pat Chambers. What
I
did
didn't
you
have any
say?
words for Pat Chambers. I didn't have any words for anybody except why would you say that? Did you saw me have words for Pat Chambers?
It looked like you pointed and said something at somebody.
One of the assistants said something, we handled it.
Oh,
We're
one
going
of the
down to
assistants.
check on our player. It was probably a situation where he told me he later apologized to one of our coaches. I'm sure they didn't know why we were going down that way. And in defense of him, he didn't know we had a player injury. But I didn't say one word to Pat Chambers, and I really hope that that's not something that got reported, because that would be misinformation, big time. All right, I didn't say one word to Pat Chambers other than good game at the end of the game.
No, I think he's talking about halftime.
I didn't say one word to Pat Chambers.
It was an assistant.
The assistant coach said something. I was going down to check on the player. It was handled. We moved right on. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't know we had a player laying in there at a heap and under the rim that we were going down to check on. That's why our players were running down there. So I would assume it's an honest mistake.
Obviously, James makes the shot at the end, but in particular in that second half, without OG, how important were he and Rob? It just felt like they had a lot of big rebounds, some big buckets. I know Penn State comes back, but it felt like those two in particular were kind of looking for, I don't want to say looking for big moments, but stepping into big moments.
I mean, they played the game, right? I mean, they played the game, and when you play the game, big moments come. I mean, it's a game of moments, right? I mean, and the thing that it's a game, really a game of segments. But the moments that come into it, they played the game. I've got to watch the film. I don't know the numbers. I haven't studied the stat sheet, any of that right now, so I have no idea on the analytics. But I know that they played with a really good poise. They played like junior leaders, and I'm proud of them. And Josh did a good job weathering the storm with the foul situation.
Coach, back here. Zach looked like he had trouble on a couple of those inbounds, but overall, his play tonight, he had a lot of big time
Yeah,
hustle
he did a
plays
really
for
good
you.
job. Freddie McSwain did a really good job. Curtis Jones, Devontae Green. Like I don't know if I said this when I walked in. We wouldn't have been in the situation to be up like we were without Curtis Jones coming in and playing well. So he misses a couple free throws, so what, right? We put him back in that situation, again. He didn't try to miss. It's all part of the game. I mean, a couple things went wrong for us. A couple things went right for them. And obviously we were in a situation where we weren't shooting free throws until there were under a minute left in the second half. So Zach did a really good job. A lot of hustle plays, and he's just got to he's got to be more comfortable taking the ball out of bounds. We'll get better there.
All right, Coach.
Anybody else? We're good? Thank you.
I'll have